Labs to share a beautiful session on our remote working with Windows Virtual Desktop. So Prabhat, welcome to the stage and it's all yours.
Right. Thank you everyone for joining. Um, so, probably I wanted to say this. This is my first speaking with an Indian conference. So I'm very happy and excited. I want to start with Namaste to everyone. This is
Namaste. That's
that's
so cool.
that's very exciting, and being an Indian, I would just wanted to speak in front of my audience, my family, my India, and I'm happy to speak today on remote working with Azure Virtual Desktop. And everything I cannot translate, so definitely we'll have to talk in English. But I'm very good Hindi speaker. Anyone has question, problems in talking in English, more than happy. Later when we have a good QA session, you can come out of mute and you can just say, talk in Hindi. I'm okay with that. All right, welcome to my session and welcome to the India Cloud Security Summit Conference. Well, I wanted to start with this code or sharing thing where probably you may miss in the end, towards the end. So I wanted to say that, okay, grab this link, go and just add a session code there. I'm not sure what is going to be priced. Am I going to get prize or you're going to get prize? But somebody is going to get prize for that. So just do that, you might get something. Moving on, this is myself, Prabhat Nigam, Global CTO for Golden 5 Consulting. Today, 28th August at 10:30 a.m. starting my session. More about me. I'm a 3 times Microsoft MVP. I've been working for Microsoft a couple of years in the Exchange Server Group, and I have 20 years of experience currently living in Los Angeles. And I'm global CTO for Golden 5 Consulting, which is a US-based Microsoft Gold partner. We have office in India and in Canada as well. I'm also CEO for my non-profit organization, which is here for user group and my knowledge sharing sessions in Los Angeles, Microsoft. And here are my other connection places where you can connect. I'm a universal donor for blood. I shared my birthday with Microsoft. That feels me great. That I think I'm born to work in Microsoft. I'm born on the same day, right? And I'm a Microsoft certified professional for since 1998. That's when I did my first Microsoft certification. One way to learn Microsoft technology is a certification. That's why I strictly follow, because that structure always guide you what content you have to learn to specialize in one technology. So we can always add on and learn with your experience, but content you might miss if you don't follow it correctly. Okay, COVID is a big topic. I don't think any conference can start without COVID, so be careful. This diagram or picture depicts that how the COVID is going to be. This information can be useful if you are vaccinated, or the family is vaccinated. You are very, very safe. You may not wear a mask, and you don't need to keep distancing and everything. But if you are vaccinated and how other families are not vaccinated and you're visiting them, you may still want to have some precautions. In US, we are under Delta variant. I think India has already passed that, so which is good now. Latest news, I think I retweeted in the evening, Bill Gates tweet saying that India has achieved over 1 crore vaccinations. Congratulations, everyone. That's great. I'm hoping this thing go away. We have a third vaccine available here for some who definitely need that. My father had COVID. He didn't go to hospital. He recovered at home, and he is still restoring his health. So that's how this disease is. It's very, very sensitive, very, very critical. Take care, guys. This was the number, how many people impacted today around 8 p.m. And My session is always sponsored by my company. Again, my company slide comes here. Gold partner, CSP, supplier, we sell Surface and Surface and all the devices of Microsoft. We are also a Microsoft Defense partner, so that's AOSG. Agenda for today is more than what I have mentioned here. So definitely you will see that coming. So IT today, security concerns, what is remote working, uh, why remote working, Azure Virtual Desktop capabilities, Azure Virtual Desktop features, Azure Virtual Desktop versus Windows 365, and then the demo. Anyone trying to speak? If you're not trying to speak, then you can go on mute, please. So, before jumping into what is remote working, I wanted to discuss a little bit IT today. So, information technology today, the way anywhere I turn, it's an IT work happening. Think from a barista or a coffee joint. You go there, they are inputting everything, your costing, your whatever you're buying, the coffee, that is going in a form of IT to a server, recording that purchase, recording that um, amount they received. So the two things happening in the behind. We never thought about it, right? Before we used to go cafe coffee day, we thought that it's a big IT servers running those machines and recording all the data, right? Now think about it. Anywhere you go, ticketing system, your metro train ticketing system, or even you swap the credit card with the Uber, then that's all connected to your IT. So we are surrounded by IT. Now, situation because of COVID has switched more than a year. We have switched in the technology that, okay, now where are we heading from here? All companies switch rapidly, big companies switch rapidly, small companies, some of them closed down, some of them switched that, okay, now we're going to be in the remote working model where we need a laptop for everybody. Probably earlier we were sharing, desktop. That okay, you come in the morning shift, you come in the afternoon shift, you share same desktop. Now you don't come, you are staying home. So expense added, one thing. Um, I can hear myself, so please don't mute. That's where IT exists now, remote working. Do we have the infrastructure at home or not? Maybe I'm living in a one-room home where I sleep, I eat, I cook, and I work also. So, and if I'm a family, even if I have a small kid or my wife, it might be tough for me to work around that. So I have to find a space within my home where I can be in a quiet space, a good headset to be, not making a noise when we have a customer. But it's not always avoidable. We are living in that culture. We are accepting it. It used to annoy us earlier. Oh, somebody's talking, someone's dog barking, something. But now we are accepting all those things, saying that this is normal life. As if we are walking, that's how our culture is moving towards. That's how we're going to be working, right? Now, this brings some security concerns too. Because if you are very concerned about your data in your organization, probably you're definitely one concerned if my company's data is safe, secure, or anyone using it, any of my employee using it. We're not only using it for any organization has a safe, some secure data. Think about the media company, the newspaper company. They want to publish their news first, so they don't want to let this data leak, right? So they don't want you to carry the new data which you are working on. Similarly, if you have the financial earning from Cafe Coffee Day, definitely you don't want to release the data to public that how much Cafe Coffee Day earned today. So that goes to the comparison. There are other competitor takes them an advantage somehow, and that data is really important for everyone. So Even railways data, you might see, oh, railways made this much money. Okay, well, that's a lot. So no one wants to share that data, but they all want to protect it. So that's a security concern comes when it goes out of office working culture. You are at a beach, you are somewhere, you're not caring about devices. You are a very free person. You believe in the world, you believe in everybody, but no one is a thief here, right? So in which culture we think that it could be a day, but not today. So you have to be careful about a device. You lost a device, you've never had a password, everything is revealed. So we have to be safe and secure, and that's a security biggest concern today. Um, so what is remote working? It is very simple. Everyone knows, I think. Um, Remote working is connecting services remotely, connecting services from another network, which may be not secure. Connecting services using VPN, connecting to cloud services, connecting from home, coffee, beach, friends' home, girlfriend's home, working from another office, working from office when servers are in data center. Can be. You were working in an office, but your servers were not there. So what was that? That was also remote working. But you all were sitting in one big hall and just working from there. That is still considered a remote working in the technical term. While working while traveling. Yeah, I've handled some calls or while in the plane or while in the travel. Maybe in the plane I just did the PPT, not the remote session. But and in the plane I did some remote session too. But if I get the right internet, that has been challenging. Um, Working on an emergency outage, I don't know where you are, you're traveling with the car, with your laptop, your Wi-Fi, USB, and your phone. Three things you carry from office, you carry wherever you go. You go to buy, paratha tea at Moolchand in Delhi, or you go to buy a nice biryani in Hyderabad, or you go to Mumbai and eat the some food. If you are on call on that day, you're carrying everything. You may never know. When you need it, you go back in your car, close the door, turn on your laptop, plug in your USB, start working. Your office started. That's emergency outage, have to work. That's remote working. Why remote working necessary? Why I want to work? I want to relax. It's my weekday out in my home. I should be relaxing. No. Remote working is required because you have to work on living. You can't work on the server, so you have to work on a desktop, on a workstation. Can be on the same office. Sometimes there's a security concern that, okay, these are the high CPU, high powered machines. You can be working next to them. These requires a lot of high AC. If you've ever been to any data center, you might see that you will be shivering if you go in the half t-shirt and half pants, for sure. And even if you go in a jacket, you might feel that you want to come out ASAP. You are still so cold. So definitely you cannot work next to a server and in the same office. So servers are located in data center. Now servers are located in the cloud. So that's sort of virtualization twist which came maybe 15 years back or so. That's when the virtualization became very popular and like, we want virtualization. Why? We can drop the server anywhere. We buy a high big-end machine and create multiple servers inside that. That was the time that we think that, okay, that's how we started cloud long back. Today we have completed Office 365 10 years, but just think about it. Was there any cloud before that? Yes. Those we used to call them hosted services. Now, somebody changed the name. Who is somebody? I don't know. But that was the twist. That's just like, oh, now cloud. I want to be the cloud architect, right? Everyone wants to be that. Okay. No servers, but cloud. It's like these clouds not gonna rain. But remote working is using basically the remote servers. And now in today's era, we need that. Any cause can be supporting that. Why remote working required? You have a sick family. I mean, COVID is one big reason. 24/7 support required. Home has a repair or something. Um, COVID lockdown, as I just said the last thing which came. But bigger thing is availability of the remote working is the main thing. Now every organization jump into that, and that's where the main thing which we are talking is Azure Virtual Desktops coming and playing the role. So let's move on to the Azure Virtual Desktop features. Um, it can support BitLocker, encrypted disks, redirection to OneDrive, device management policies, Windows Defender, Windows Defender and Windows Defender endpoint security. There are two things. Always remember that. Block local computer access. That's very important. Think about it. You are sitting and you were doing all good, right? Your friend came and he had some USB from somewhere and he wanted to see what data he got from his friend. He said, "Hey, I'm using your USB. Okay, use it. I'm this, this big brother kind of a thing." So he comes in, he does everything, and he just plugged in the USB. It had the wires. No, all data captured, and he left, and wires was left there, and USB was gone. So that's very important. Block local USB access. That's possible with Azure Virtual Desktop. Definitely that's what I mean. The local computer access, you can share that. Block drives redirection. You don't redirect your local C drive, D drive to the Azure Virtual Desktop. Fast expandable. This is one thing which I love it. Any day I want to expand my virtual desktop, virtual machines, those I can just go add one more, and it will be very fast. Add one more virtual desktop. I don't have to configure everything which I used to configure for remote desktop web client, multiple servers, a gateway, remote desktop gateway, a network security server, all that. It could be done in 2-3 servers, but also if you're managing a big infrastructure, you need a lot of servers so that they can handle load. Now, that's gone. Just configure Azure Virtual Desktop configuration one time, and then you can use it for any number of desktop. You don't have to keep configuring a lot of things there. Limit the network access. Now, this is another point to consider. Think about it. As an organization, CIO, IT director, IT manager, think about network utilization, what you used to pay or what you pay for internet access today. You just have to pay for one connection to Azure Virtual Desktop. Then after that, anything which you are using inside Azure Virtual Desktop is not using your internet, it is using Azure's internet. So any services which are available from Office 365, they will work very fast. They will use local network. Sometimes it can be using the same data center where your virtual desktop is located. That is very big, very critical point as well. Ease of disruptions. Your virtual desktop is corrupt, not working, got a virus, something else is broken, destroy, done. Next, add a new virtual desktop. Fast, quick, gone. Move on, next one. Okay, so why will I destroy AVD? Right? Anyone has an answer? Please drop a note in the chat. Why will I destroy AVD? I just said I think. Moving on, Azure Virtual Desktop capabilities. Cooled or personal? Cooled, what is cooled and personal? That's, you might be thinking, is it a swimming pool or is it a snooker pool? So, pool is a Azure Virtual Desktop shared mode, which is like I'm saying that I'm going to build a virtual machine of 32 GB memory and I'm going to share that with 20 users, right? That's pool. Because my lightweight users don't need that. Probably you guys are IT guys, you need to have a machine. Not everyone in your organization needs those heavy 8 GB or 16 GB machines. Their utilization might be just 2 gig or 1 gig. You just have to use Office application, Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and record their attendance. And then they have to go, if they're in the manufacturing industry, they have to manufacture a scooter, tire, car, whatever they're manufacturing. Or if they're in the water plant, they have to go and purify the water and fill in the bottles. That's the family job and business. They don't have to use computer, maybe not even every day. Just come in the evening and see if their boss sent an email or something. Right? So those kind of users can be excellent for old WDs, to old Azure Virtual Desktops, AVDs, and there could be some personal AVD users who will be like your IT guys, maybe need a heavy virtual desktop. It's not very restricting that you cannot use old WDs. You have to make sure to deploy the right resources in that case. Um, I recommend highly secure solution itself because it does not use your remote desktop protocol. It's not using 3389, it's using 443 protocol. So the certificate is much secure login using 443, and moreover, you can control it using Intune and it's a virtual desktop interface. So it makes it much secure with Intune. You can push some policies, apply different levels of restrictions. And centralized data management. That's very important because where is my data going, right? That's a question. So when we configure it, we would like to keep the data in one disk. So that's when my disk is already a separate disk where I'm keeping the data. Either I can keep it per file there or I keep my actual files data. That's going to be just right there. Right? I can configure all that. So, moving on, Office 365's full suite can be accessed from Azure Virtual Desktop. Be it Exchange, Mailbox, SharePoint, OneDrive, Microsoft Teams. Other restrictions can be also applied. If you have Azure deployment, multiple servers deployed in Azure, you can only give the access from the same network to access those servers. You don't have to give it separate VPN, public IP for those servers. Today I log into a domain controller using my WVD or Azure VD, and I don't have to find another way to log into that server. So log into Azure Virtual Desktop and then log into your servers. That is it. And it's local network, no extra cost for accessing those servers. 100% remote work possibility. If you want to work, it's just so easy, secure, simple. Go ahead, log in from anywhere, which means not only the location I'm saying log in from the iPhone or another phone which supports remote desktop app. I remote log in from iPad, probably even log in from Google also, and not by the Google Chromes. But I'm just saying that that app has to work. If the app works, you can log in. We'll see in the demo. Integrated IAM, AAD. IAM is Identity and Access Management. Everything can integrate. Azure AD, single sign-on can be implemented. SAML authentication can be implemented. Multi-factor authentication can be implemented. BitLocker, DLP policy, Azure Information Protection, all that can be implemented. I would say is free from ransomware. That's a big deal for any organization. Free from ransomware attack, free from theft. You were you were traveling everywhere as the most available person on the earth. You went to eat somewhere, you went to eat pani puri, you went to eat something else, and you left your laptop in the car. Some guy who had no bad intention broke the car glass, stole your laptop. Laptop was theft, gone. Azure Virtual Desktop. How will you, how will you steal it? No way. Um, we can also deploy um, double key encryption and use it in Azure Virtual Desktop. We can the new option which came I think a few months back in April around that time is Msix packaging option came in Azure Virtual Desktop. That added a lot of advantages. We'll see in the next slide and we'll talk about it a little bit. We can also use phone system conferencing, domestic calling plan, international calling plan. You can also call from anywhere. Probably India doesn't have that voice over IP, so I'm not sure if you can call from Teams to a normal phone. But in US and many countries you can. So it might be supporting some company which might be using it. You will see with that you can use Azure Virtual Desktop for that same capability which you have on your laptop. It's not lower than your laptop, it's even better than your laptop. Last but not the least is multi-tenant integration. So you may have Office 365 with Azure Virtual Desktop, but you can also use the other one which has Mailbox, which has SharePoint, which has your OneDrive. So you can segregate the data separately if you need to. That option is available. That's integration works very well as well. Please go on mute if you're not talking. If you have a question, pause. Okay. If you don't have a question, then I have questions. All right. So why Microsoft changed? I'm sorry. Why Microsoft changed WVD to AVD? Anyone? It used to be called Windows Virtual Desktop. Now Microsoft called it Azure Virtual Desktop. If you don't know, we'll see in the next slide. If you knew, that's great. Here we go. So Azure Virtual Desktop versus Windows 365. Microsoft changed it so that we can call Windows 365 as Windows 365. And then they can differentiate it with Azure Virtual Desktop. Otherwise it sounds like Windows Virtual Desktop, Windows 365, Windows Virtual Desktop. What is the difference? What is it sounds the same? Which is in a way it's very close. Azure Virtual Desktop supports Windows 10, Windows 11, I think Windows 7 as well. You'll see in the next licensing and OS slide as well. Most important here, Azure Virtual Desktop supports multi-session desktops and personalized desktops. So now here's the comparison. On the left, Azure Virtual Desktop. On the right, Windows 365. Windows 10 and 11 supported both. Azure Virtual Desktop only supports both personalized and pooled. We talked about pooled. Pooled is multi-session desktop. But on the other hand, Windows 365 is dedicated for one person. It's only personalized desktop. Right? It's not the pre-configured application. You have to deploy the application separately. And remote app streaming possible using Azure Virtual Desktop. You don't need a desktop. You can use just a remote applications only. You don't want to use a desktop. No need. If you don't need, you can just browse to the browser and just use the applications or use the app and only use the applications, not the desktop. Msix Packaging is available with Azure Virtual Desktop, not with Windows 365. Um, Azure Virtual Desktop is fully controlled, whereas Windows 65 is completely SaaS solution. Just think about how Exchange Online is. You don't have access to the Exchange server, whereas in Azure Virtual Desktop you have access to that Exchange server. You have access to the virtual machine. Windows 365 is probably secure, personalized app. It's already configured. You see that you cannot just go and configure it, so it is already configured and ready. It is simple. On Azure Virtual Desktop is more manageable, full control of deployment. You can also integrate with Citrix and VMware if you would like to Microsoft's remote connection to. In Windows 65, no customization possible, or very limited possible, limited management possible, no Msix packaging possible, and most important probably Windows 365 is kind of a ready priced. You cannot say, oh, give me this and add my, it'll increase my costing, or take away from this and it will reduce my costing. Something like that. So that's flexibility is available in Azure Virtual Desktop. Windows 365 is not that flexible. Moving on, next question: what is Msix packaging? Does anyone know? If don't know, that's fine. I'm addressing in the next slide. Msix packaging is it allows software deployment in extended disk. The simplest and easiest definition of explanation: you deploy the software in a separate disk, then virtual desktop. You're not deploying software on the virtual desktop, so operating system disk. That's simple. And then you attach it, then you give the permission. So this allows you different software for different team. You don't have, everyone doesn't have to have the same software if you are using one virtual desktop. This is the biggest advantage. Now you can host different software users in one virtual desktop, in one Azure Virtual Desktop using Msix packaging. Create once and use unlimited time. Right? For example, if you have a SQL admin and he wants to use SQL Studio in Azure Virtual Desktop, right? So that you can create a package just for that SQL admin, and rest of the users will not get SQL Studio. Rest of users can use regular applications like Adobe or Office. So other users will be restricted from using heavy application, which is probably SQL. Not everybody will use that. So maybe AutoCAD might be another example. It will be used by graphic designers, not everybody. So that's possible. And then I said create once and use unlimited, which means I'm saying you create a disk. So it's basically a VHD disk, which you're creating using Msix packaging. And you can attach a disk to different multiple deployments you might be doing, or you do it for today for one group, and second day you do the same similar deployment for another group with some different limitations, some different sizing. You can just attach the same disk which you created or deployed, the bunch of software, 10, 20, 30 softwares you have to deploy. You don't have to deploy again and again. You deploy it once and done. Your disks are ready. You just have to attach to that group and they have the access. How fast, how easy, how convenient. If you have to deploy any update, deploy in that other copy of the disk, replace the disk, boom, gone, done. Uninterrupted deployment. And again, it's a secure management. The disk has some issue, destroy it, create another one, secure, and it's separate from virtual desktop. The separate disk, the virtual desktop is safe. Here's the slide which is sharing supported OS and licensing. So it is important why I colored same left and right to explain that if you are going to use Windows 10 Enterprise multi-session or Windows 10 Enterprise, then you need any of these licenses on the right hand side. Um, Maybe the on-prem licenses will not work with that because you need a multi-session license. Then Windows 7 supports, again you need this on the right hand side those licenses. And if you are going to deploy a server operating system, that can work with your RDS CAD licenses, which you bought from software assurance. This is separate, this is important to know. Software assurance will add more cost on those licenses, and that's why they are bought from the software assurance, and that's why you have to use that gives the Azure deployment benefits. This is on the licensing piece. Now, supported remote desktop clients, Windows desktop client. Remember this icon. This is um, this is the icon which remote desktop comes with. So when you deploy it, you have to install this particular app, not any other app. You can use web, you can use macOS, you can use it in macOS, you can use iOS, Android. That's why I said in Google I think it worked, but I'm not tested. Um, in Apple devices, it is important that you don't log in same way as Windows devices. So on Windows devices, you use Windows user principal name. Supposed to be R here, so I missed that. But in Apple devices, you will use this URL to get the feed discovery, and then you will log in to the Apple devices remote desktop. And then let's jump into the demo session, and then we'll go for the rest of the slides. Just fix this. Okay, so what I'm going to be trying to cover in the remote desktop, this is my icon, you see that? This is my icon. This is my remote desktop. First I'll log in and just use my Azure Virtual Desktop. And this is my pool user 01. So if I have logged in somewhere, it will take my session and get it here and adds it here. I just double click on it, it gives me pop up with the user ID and password. User ID created already. Now to log in. Well, this is just ready. A lot of you can see the software installed and everything. One thing I would like to show and highlight is just logged in to my OneDrive automatically. I logged in on my OneDrive, and we have configured a redirection. So my downloads, my desktop, my documents, everything goes to my OneDrive. This is my documents, see? Same thing. Desktop, pictures. So all of that goes to my OneDrive. That was one thing. The second thing, I think, I want to show that Teams is ready and ready to use. I've logged in. I have my devices. I will show it came through. Just a second. Settings. And you can see my camera is picking up, and it's picking up my audio devices and everything. It's on WVD. Let me try to make a call and see if anyone available in my office, they can pick up a phone call and maybe might have some issues because I'm already on a call. Um, okay, let's see if Ajit picks up. Hi, Ajit, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, that's awesome. This was just a testing for my session, just to show everyone that how it works. And I want to thank you for picking up my call. And I'm going to be doing all of this. Thanks. All right, I'm not sure if you were able to hear Ajit, but I went into that call and just came back.
Yes, we heard the voice of Ajit. Yeah,
Okay, and,
please go ahead.
and share is still working, right? That's,
Yes, everything was working, and few people are asking questions as well.
yeah,
So
that's just two questions, I think, towards the end. This,
yes. You can just switch towards end. Yeah.
now I'm going to be trying to connect from my um, iPad to see if I can connect and share my session. And then third option I'll do is I'll try to share from my iPhone to show that it works from there. Teams. Okay, I'm to my iPad. Sharing. Okay, can you guys see my session? iPad.
Yes, we can.
Okay, still see, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the how workspace looks like. This is the same app which I have on my iPad. I just added this just before the meeting, so you guys can see it's added here. I'm going to just click on the plus sign and add another workspace, and um, let's see, let's do the control V there. Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, which works here. Now the control V paste. Okay. Copy the URL from here. So that's off it there. So I have to unsubscribe. And sometimes it's not easy. Okay, never mind. Let's show that in my iPhone. But more on this, if I can log in here and show that same behavior. So I'm back with the same WBD, and now I'm looking to see where's my Teams, so that I can call Ajit again. Ajit I called earlier. I'm not sure if he'll pick up now. Looks like he's gone. So no, but it's the experience I was trying to share that you log into Windows device earlier. I logged in, and this time I logged into Apple device, and it's still working. And can you still hear me? Probably maybe works. Okay. So the point was that it connects and displays. Probably I'm adding multiple values, just like not here, here, but it just adds everything. I can just view. As you can hear me. Okay, that probably just a device that I can share. That. I'm going to stop sharing from there, and I'm going to try to share from my iPhone, just to share another experience. You're stuck somewhere. You can still try to log in somewhere using your phone. That's, I think that's important. Okay, do you guys see my screen on my phone?
Yes, we can.
See the ID client is here. I go here, and if I try to add a um, workspace URL I have to add, so it's simple. So let's say iOS RE client URL. Then start with iOS comes, and store set up the PC. It should here. Here's the URL. Okay, let's adopt. It finds that. So next is setting up my login. So I have to see, oh, I have a login here. No, I don't have a login here. I can say pick up. Yeah, say PU is pool user. Pool user. Let's see. On golden5.com. Alright. Let go.
So, hello, Prabhat. Sorry to interrupt you, but we have 8 minutes left, and so we need to jump on another session after the 8 minutes. Just want to remind you.
Yeah, I'll should be fast. It should be just done. 52602. 52602. And if there will be questions, I'll start giving the answer in the chat. Um, so see, this is the throughout the different devices. The session looks similar. I'm just gonna click on his. Might ask the password again to give us the same experience. If people want to see how it looks in the phone, right? So it automatically switches this call into mode, and I mean the same session I got. This is the same Teams which was logged in there, and it's showing it there. Quickly ending that and stopping share, going back to my Windows laptop, share from there again. Oh, do you guys still see my share? I guess you do. Can anyone confirm?
No.
No? Okay. Stopped sharing. It should be sharing now. Can you guys see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay. Next few slides are very quickly. We'll move. Not much to add up there, but I hope you guys like my session. If anyone wants to use the our WVD, the one company's WVD, it's very cheap, to $25 per user per month. I'm offering everyone discounts who have it, who has a company in the US and supporting there. I'm giving 10% discount for everyone who wants to buy licenses there. If you want to connect with me, if you follow me, there are multiple places you can follow me, join me. Primarily, we are very focused in this Facebook group, Global M65. If you want to join, you can just come up, share your issues. But if you want to learn, there's a lot of other people who are sharing their knowledge there. You guys can follow that and learn as well. This is my YouTube channel, you can learn also there. These are my other groups in LinkedIn and other media groups. Being said that, we can move to the questions, but before we go to the questions, I want to thank everyone. So, thank you everyone for joining me, and go back to the questions. I'm gonna floor is open for next 5 minutes to go ahead with the questions, and I can start looking into the chat now and see from the beginning. So probably some hard phrases were there, which was the answers I think which I was asking. That's good. You're interactive. I love people when they're interactive. Yeah, the video is very impactful. Many organizations using it. Many large enterprises using the Windows, Azure Virtual Desktop now. That's they're finding it very secure as well.
So sorry to interrupt, but I need to inform everyone that we already have next meeting session URL in the chat window, and I already shared the session code, uh, as well as the form URL. Our session code is 75520. I'm sharing it again. And also I'm sharing the Microsoft URL, where you need to enter the session code, and the person who brings up more session code with the corrective session, uh, they probably get chosen for the winner. So I think I think I already shared. Yeah, I already shared this in Microsoft URL as well. So let me just share one more time, and we have next session in. I will send the invite, team meeting invite, in our chat window. So that will be for how to build secure B2C applications with Azure AD identities by Nasima Thermal and Vinod. And thank you so much, Prabhat. And we really enjoyed this session, and all our audience have a lot of questions with you. Probably you already shared your contact details in LinkedIn and other stuff, so they will definitely contact you personally. They really were very interactive, and they were answering your questions on chat, and they're already asking questions, a lot of questions in the chat window. Uh, but unfortunately, we just have 2 minutes left, and we want to continue with next session as well.
Yeah, I'll keep answering the chat, so that's fine.
Yeah, if you want to continue, please continue with the session, and please continue answering your chat window. You're good to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you so much. It was really great session. We really enjoyed it, and we learned a lot.
Thank you. I hope सबको मजा आया, right?
Of course,
मजा आना चाहिए,
and
boss.
not only the Indian audience, like I am from US, so I also enjoyed seeing. So you were definitely capturing a lot of audience from all over the world. So namaste and dhanyawad, of course.
Thanks everyone. I'll mute.
Yeah. Okay.